Hey, Pat Rigsby here, and in today's episode, I want to talk with you about diversifying your marketing. Let's get to it. So recently, my family and I took a trip to Hawaii. We got to hang out on a really fun family vacation. We stayed at Disney's Alani Resort and spent a lot of time really just kind of exploring the island. It's the third time that we've been there, and we checked out the North Shore. We checked out Waikiki. We really, I think at this point, kind of feel comfortable navigating our way around the island to an extent. And one thing that I think that we've found is we've enjoyed a lot of the kind of out of the way or maybe smaller food trucks and other kind of small popular places to eat. And along the same line, some of the activities or excursions that we took maybe weren't the mainstream book it through the resort type of thing. And I think as the entrepreneurial minded guy that I am, I'm always curious about, okay, how do these people generate business? How do they stay popular? Because some of the businesses, actually pretty much all the businesses that we enjoyed the last time that we were there, were all healthy and thriving this time. Whether it was a shop Holly wanted to check out or a restaurant or food truck, they not only were still in business, which in the small business world we don't ever really take for granted, but they appeared to be thriving, at least from a gross revenue standpoint, right? There's a lot of traffic there. There was never a time where I was like, oh, we're the only person here, right? And one of the things that I really noticed about that was if I started to do a little bit of research about a business, and I did this for pretty much all of them after I kind of turned it into a little bit of a game of exploration. You could find that there were a lot of different ways that they were marketing, right? It wasn't just, hey, I'm running a Facebook ad. Their reviews were through the roof. They all had not only pretty close to a 5-star average, but they all had hundreds of reviews. They had social media stuff posted. They were running ads because I'd be retargeted if I went to their website. But you could also see if you were at some other location that was in some relative proximity to this, you'd end up seeing cross promotions, flyers, strategic alliances, all sorts of stuff. And I think one of the things that I just loved about that was in our industry, the vast majority of people in our industry are beneficiaries of subscription billing. This is something that I don't know that I get to take all the credit for, but I know I was kind of at the front of the charge of getting people to move from a package model to a subscription or a recurring revenue model way back when I started doing business coaching. I mean, our first training business was we opened with 12-month contracts, subscription billing, auto renewals, all that stuff in 2004. And the minute I started teaching business to other gym owners, we taught them the same thing. And that was at the end of 2005. So we were very early adopters of this and big proponents of it. But it's something I think in our industry now we take for granted because it's the norm. But these businesses, none of them were subscription-based businesses. They were all one-time transaction businesses and continually had to generate a stream of new or repeat customers. You couldn't just automatically assume that it was going to happen. And so they tend to have to work a little bit harder to get people through the door. And watching what they do and seeing how diverse they are, offline and online, paid and organic, it just was, I think, a really powerful reminder of if you want to stay healthy, if you want to grow, not only do you need to diversify your efforts, but you get the luxury of kind of double dipping, right? Like they're doing it to just get a transaction, get a customer through the door, get a purchase. If you do this, every customer potentially turns into a 12, 18, 24 or more month client. They become somebody who the relationship value to your business is worth thousands of dollars. And so ideally, you should be more motivated or incentivized to to diversify your marketing efforts and really put more stuff out there. Ask for more referrals, ask for more reviews, do some grassroots local marketing. I know we talk a lot about that with our clients. And then make sure that you are running ads. I mean, I think that anybody doing more than $10,000 a month in their business needs to be starting to leverage the available ad networks, but they also, like, at $15,000 a month, it's a non-negotiable. I mean, that has to be part of your marketing playbook. But I wanted to mention this because it becomes really easy to just kind of narrow down and say, well, hey, I'll just run ads and that'll be how we generate leads and that'll keep a consistent trickle of people coming through the door. But if you want to build a $500,000 a year business, $750,000 a year business, or even a 7-figure beyond business, you need to have several different lines in the water, and you need to really nurture them and build them up. It's not enough to say, oh yeah, we have a Google business listing, we got a few reviews. I mean, it needs to be continually updated and refreshed. You need to be trying to stack the reviews up so you're the leader in your respective market with those. So just a takeaway about marketing diversification that I thought, hey, this is a pretty competitive environment. There are a lot of people fighting over tourist dollars for every restaurant or food truck or whatever else, every retail shop that's selling something that might be a souvenir. They're all kind of fighting over the same tourist dollars. And the people that are winning aren't doing it by accident. They're doing it with intent. They're doing it with marketing diversification. And you can take that same playbook and apply it in your business.